Okay. Okay. So here we have, I'm going to introduce the 4 lovely speakers. Omar is the speaker. So it's a mixture again of like people who graduated from the program and people who work at UW. And so the point of this is just to kind of learn from people in the field, professionals in the field, people who graduated from library programs, and what suggestions they can have, again, to have a good experience, what we can do to make the most out of our experiences at library school. So I guess my first question, and you can just answer in any order, is why did you choose to go to library school, or what interested you in the profession of library? How many seconds do we have? 5. There's no time limit. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think maybe for all of us, it's probably in some ways a lifelong sort of experience of sort of moving towards the profession. At least for me, it was. I sort of grew up around books, loved books, hid from people, hid from my high school in books, like, and I was, when I had detention, I would, get out of detention, it was nice. But my dad actually started a tribal library in northern Wisconsin in the late 1970s. It was one of the first tribal libraries in the state. It was a learning center. And Janice actually worked with him in the 80s. So I sort of grew up in thinking about libraries and escaping into libraries. And then when I got here to UW-Madison, I ended up at the Historical Society just sort of randomly, and worked in the microforms room. And yeah, we worked together next to each other.
Circulation.
Yeah. And I was a history major, and the Historical Society has it's one of the few places where you can go and find our community's history. MOLE archives, which were microfilmed in the 1980s. They're not present in the community anymore, but they are present at the Historical Society in the microforms room. So it was very, very nice to be able to be in a place where I had access to that history. And able to learn things that other people didn't have the opportunity to access. So there was that sort of motivation, but also we slip into a library and you meet all these different librarians, and just sort of ended up here.
That's basically Omar's last sentence is basically my story. I sort of just ended up here. Like I'm not one of those people who's like, I was 5 years old and decided I wanted to be a librarian, and I went to school, and I went straight to library school, and now I'm a librarian. I totally did not even think about being a librarian until I was applying to school, to library school. And thankfully it worked out, and I really, really like what I do. And like Omar said, I've met so many great people who are librarians, and they're doing really great things. And that's kind of why I'm still around and still here and still enjoying what I do. I mean, I didn't really have a very strong, I'm going to be a librarian moment. So.
Well, let's see. I should have been one of those people that knew early on that I was going to be a librarian, because like in junior high, I spent all my free time in the library, like volunteering, stamping the little cards. Yes, back when there were stamps. So I probably should have known then, and there are other things that should have pointed me along that path. As an undergrad, I wanted to grow up and be a cultural anthropologist, so it seemed like a good idea at the time. And so I, got a undergrad in cultural anthropology, moved to Nepal, lived there for about a year, and decided that it was, not my story to tell, and I was not going to be doing that, and there, I need to come up with a different plan. What was I going to do with my life? So I came back to Madison. This is actually relevant to getting into library school. I went to work for community pharmacy. I worked there for I don't know how many years. but it kind of breeds social workers and librarians. If you ever are in there and you look up on the wall, the mission statement's written up on the wall, and this isn't an exact quote, but the gist of it is that the pharmacy's goal is to make information available so that people can make choices for themselves about what they want to do for their health. And so, here I am.
So I worked on political campaigns for nonprofits my first few years out of college, and then after that I also worked on some issue campaigns, and I worked for the student government here on campus for about 4 years, and they have a really unusual structure where part of the student government does grassroots organizing. So I primarily worked with students, sometimes faculty and staff who wanted to create change on campus. Community pharmacy actually came out of ASM years ago.
Yes, it did.
And so people are always being innovative and coming up with things, but I really liked being able to work with people on a regular basis, and I liked being able to help people, and I really liked being able to help people navigate systems. What was hard was that it was really demanding, right? You know, we work weekends, you come in, you get phone calls at 10:30 at night, there's a crisis every other day, right? Not a real crisis, but a crisis for the people you're working with. And so I started meeting with different librarians on campus, because I had a sense, maybe similar to Omar from you when I was young, and libraries provided a sense of safety, a place of safety, and I liked literature, but I wanted to really work with people and be able to connect with people, and so I, was, as academic staff, I was on the University Library Committee, and then I started meeting folks like librarians, and they were all great, and they all talked about collaboration and community and change, and they loved their jobs, and so for me, it felt like a way where I could do micro-level work, and I could build relationships with people, but I could also do macro-level work and be involved in an institution that can, affect different people in different ways, and that can be part of the community that can help create change.
What experiences did you value the most during your time at library school, and why?
Oh, so we're just haphazard.
Yes, it could just be
Okay.
anybody.
Well, I was involved with TLAM in the very beginning. And I would say, so for me, my experiences outside the classroom were more meaningful to me while I was in high school. Not to discount the classes, because they're very important too. Go to class, do your homework. But TLAM for me was really, really great because of the people I was working with, and I got to work with people who are actually doing real things for the community, which was really important, and being able to take what I was learning in the classroom and sort of seeing how it applies to a real situation. So that was really great, and just seeing sort of the passion that people have for things that a library can do for them was a really great experience too. So TLAM for me was really great. Also just in terms of practical experiences, work experience is really, really important while you're in school, just to get, when you're looking for a job on your resume, that's what people are going to be looking for, is that work experience. So in a more pragmatic way of thinking, try to get that work experience too. There's more I can say, but anyone else want to chime in?
Well, let's see. I would say that as far as, building yourself or building your resume or CV and,